नमस्ते, हमेशा खुश रहो बिटिया। My name is JVN Manisha Singh, Assistant Professor in Department of Food and Biotechnology under Faculty of Agriculture and Veterinary Sciences in Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University, Jaipur. I am teaching you subject Food Safety and Quality Control for DET FBT 6th semester. And in today's session, we will discuss all about the genetically modified foods. So, begins with the topic. What is GM crops or foods? So, according to the WHO, that is World Health Organization, genetically modified foods, or you can say GM foods, are foods derived from the organisms whose genetic material, that means our DNA, has been modified in a way that does not occur naturally, that is, through the introduction of a gene from a different organism. For example, these Bt gene is isolated from the Bacillus thuringiensis bacteria, and then that was injected into the Bt gene is inserted into the crop. That Bt gene inserted into the DNA of the crop, and then we will get the genetically modified plant. Okay, then types of genetically modified foods. A genetically modified organism is one that has had its genetical material altered through any method. Okay, and a genetically engineered organism is one that is modified using the techniques that permits the direct transfer or the removal of gene in that uh, organism. Such techniques are also called as recombinant DNA or rDNA techniques. Okay, then transgenic organisms having a gene from another organism and moved into them. So this is the process of Bt, that is Bacterium thuringiensis, that enzyme. There is the enzyme, and this is a Bt gene, and these Bt gene insertion into the corn expression cassette, and there is a promoter and terminator, and these vector with transgene multiplied in the bacteria, and this is known as the plasmid, and foreign gene inserted into the corn cell genome, and then we will get the GM corn. Okay, so this is basically a genetically modified corn crop. Then we have classification of GM foods. So GM foods are classified into one of three generations. Number one is the first generation crops having enhanced input traits such as herbicide tolerance, better insect resistance, and better tolerance to the environmental stress. So for the first generation crop, have not infected by any herbs, and they are resistant to the insects, and they are tolerant to the environmental stress. Okay, next is the second generation crop, which includes those with value added output traits such as nutrient enhancement for animal feed. Likewise, will be added in the second generation crop. Okay, then we have the third generation crops, and it includes those that produce pharmaceuticals and improve the processing of bio waste fuels or produce products beyond the food or the fiber. Then this is the GM list of the GM foods available in the world. That is, we will have the genetically modified cotton, rice, also we can say it a golden rice, then soybean, sugarcane, tomatoes, sweet corn, that example is BT corn. Then we have canola, potato, papaya, and sugar beet. These food products are available in the market, available in the world. Okay, then we have the genetically modified crops, goes through the extensive testing to ensure safety and has to approved by the Food and Drug Administration, the United States Department of Agriculture, and the Environmental Protection Agency prior to them in our food product, because there is no further study for the safety of the genetically modified crops. Okay, so these are the products basically. Then we have usefulness of GM crops. Number one is a pest resistance. They are the disease resistance, they are herbicide tolerant, drought tolerance, and the nutrition. Okay, so this is the usefulness of the genetically modified crops. So first point is pest and disease resistance. Okay, so this Bacillus thuringiensis gene is incorporated or inserted in the crop. So in the crop is infected by the European corn borer, if it is not a GM crop, and basically that is not a BT cotton, so that crop is infected by the bacteria, okay, or you can say the pest or the disease, okay. Then this is the BT cotton, in which we are inserted the gene by the genetically modified techniques, by the genetic engineering. So that pest dies when feeding on any part of the plant, okay. So this pest or the herbs or the disease bacteria will die before it causes any effect on the food crop, okay, on the cotton plant, okay. So okay, then we have the herbicide tolerance. Over 63% of genetically modified crops grown globally have herbicide tolerance traits, and herbicide tolerance is achieved through the introduction of a gene from a bacterium. Okay, so conveying resistance to some herbicides, and in such situations where weed pressure is high, the use of such crops has resulted in a reduction in the quantity of the herbicides used. So this is a plant of GM crop in which we are spraying the herbicide and there is a weed. So result of herbicide spray will basically kill the weed and remains unaffected the GM crop. Okay, so genetically modified crop will remains as such and the weed will kill, and we have a lot of production of our crop. Okay, so that is basically the GM crops are herbicide tolerant. Then we have the drought tolerant. For example, corn crops under drought stress. So these plants are the basically genetically modified corn. So under the drought conditions, they are unaffected by the drought. Okay. Next is the nutrition. First example is the golden rice, and worldwide 7% of the children suffer vitamin A deficiency, and many of them living in regions in which rice is a staple of the diet. That's why we will incorporate the gene which is rich in vitamin, which will rich in the vitamin A, and enrich the golden rice in the vitamin A. So we will have the golden rice. Okay, golden rice is basically genetically modified rice, and which is rich in vitamin A and fulfill the deficiency of the vitamin A. Okay. Next, the results are this is the comparison in between the genetically modified corns and the standard cotton. And GM cotton contains a bacterial gene for the pest resistance, and there is a lot of flowers, or you can say cotton fruit on the plant, and in the standard cotton that was affected by the pest, herbicides, etc. So the production is very less in this case. Okay, so now we will talk about the safety. So for it affects the human health, so it may be allergen or toxin, because no further studies is done on the genetically modified crops, so it is unknown effects on the human health. Next is the outcrossing, and the movement of the genes from GM plants into the conventional crops or related species in the wild, you can refer to as outcrossing, as well as the mixing of the crops derived from the conventional seeds with those grown using the GM crops may have an indirect effect on the food safety and the security. For example, if there is a GM crop and there is a conventional crop, so when the direction of wind towards the conventional crop, so the pollen grains will move from GM crops to the conventional crop, and it may produce a product which may be harmful to the human beings, and it is a biggest question on the food safety and a food security. Okay, so there may be an indirect effect on this. So this is known as the outcrossing, and there is no such effects on the human body. Basically, no studies will done on this. So next is the superweeds. Superweeds, a wild plant that has accidentally pollinated by a genetically modified plant and now contains the plant's abilities to resist the herbicides and insecticides. Glyphosate is the chemical name for a herbicide. Contain certain invasive grasses and weeds have proven themselves to be resistant to the glyphosate, and meaning that the herbicide is no longer effective against these weeds. Okay, so examples of weeds resistant to glyphosate are the common ragweed and Italian ryegrass. Okay, so there is a pollen, and that is a GM crop, and then there is a cross pollination of GM crop with the weeds, and then uh, that GM crop and the super weed, then we it is subjected to the herbicide spray, and then there is no effect on the herbicide spray on the super weed. Okay, because it has a gene which is resistant to the herbicide. Okay, so that will acquire by the weed, by the cross pollination, from by the cross pollination of GM crop with the weeds. Okay, so that super weed has no effect of herbicide spray. So that is the major disadvantage of the genetically modified crop. Okay, so that is the super weeds, all about the super weeds. Next, we have the environmental hazard. So unintended harm to other organism. For example, butterflies lays their eggs on the GM crops, and the larvae produced from them feed on these GM crops and crops leaves, and they were died because they have a resistant, which will they have a gene. Okay, that GM crop have a gene which will affect the butterflies larvae when they are eaten by the butterflies. Okay, so that will unintended harm to the another organisms, and that will basically affect the population of the butterflies. Okay, next we have the environmental hazards, that is the gene transfer to the non-target species. Okay, then we have the bt resistance insect as well in the surroundings, because there is a tendency survival of the fittest. Then if they want to change their genes, then they will change. Then this is the timeline and status of the study, that the trait is pest resistance, and the advantage is the less damage by the insect, virus, bacteria, and the product is corn. Herbicide resistance means that the herbicide will kill only the weeds, not the crops. So the example is the cotton. Okay, then trait is delayed ripening. Okay, so the advantage is it can be shipped with less damage. Okay, so the tomato is basically the product. Then miniature size, that will improve the eating quality. Example is the watermelon. Trait is improved sweetness, that will be better tasting. Okay, so example is the sweet pea. Trait is the cold resistance. Okay, that means the withstand freezing and thawing. So the product is the strawberries. High starch trait is basically absorbs less oil when fried. So the sample product is the tomato, right? Then we have the polyester gene added, that will have the polyester is basically a fiber properties. So example is the cotton. Then growth hormone added, that will leads to the faster growth, and sample product is the salmon. Then hepatitis B virus protein added, that basically advantages the may provide immunity to the hepatitis, and example or the sample is banana. Then we have the traits of the GM foods. So corn, basically field and sweet, the GM version of the field corn protects the crop against the corn root worms and the Asian corn borer, like GM field crop, and GM sweet corn also protects the crop against destructive pests. Okay. Next, we have the product soybeans, and the GM soybean plant is basically resistant to the pest and the disease, as well as the tolerant of herbicides that are most effective, allowing for less herbicide use overall. Okay, next product is the cotton, and GM cotton requires fewer pesticides and protects against the cotton bollworm. Canola has been modified through biotechnology and to make it tolerant to some herbicides, and this allows for a reduced amount of chemicals needed for weed control, and the modified plant also has resistance to pests and fungus. Next is the alfalfa. The GM version of the alfalfa is tolerant of some herbicides and allowing for reduced amount of chemicals needed for weed control. Then we have the sugar beets, and the GM sugar beets has increased tolerance to some herbicides and allowing for a reduced amount of chemicals needed for weed control. And GM sugar beets also have virus and pest resistance traits. Next is the papaya. The GM version of papaya makes the plant resistant to prevalent papaya ring spot virus. Okay, then squash, GM squash has the traits that improve the plant's defense against the viruses. Then Arctic apple, that was developed by the Okanagan and especially fruit of British Columbia, Canada. And this new fruit was developed by turning off the enzyme in apples that caused them to brown when cut, bruised, or beaten. Next is the innate potato, and this new potato that resists the browning and has fewer unsightly wasteful bruises has been approved by the USDA for commercial planting. Next is the Aqua Bounty salmon, and this new salmon is genetically engineered to reach market size more quickly than non-genetical engineered farm-raised Atlantic salmon. So, what is the conclusion? So, are genetically modified foods a good or bad thing? So, it is basically depend on each individual case. Okay, it may be cause infection to one body and not to other, and in future we will become agronomists. So did you have your own idea about the GM crops? Okay, as one side it improve nutrition, resistance to disease, reduce use of chemicals, and on the other side it will risk the environment, health risk, and economic risk. Okay, so that is enough for this session. From this session, various questions may be asked, like what is genetically modified crops, how you will prepare a genetically modified crops, and what are the different generations of genetically modified crops, and what are the advantages and disadvantages of the genetically modified crop or foods. So likewise, questions will be asked in your final exam. So prepare accordingly. Okay, and that is enough for today's session. Thank you so much for watching this video.